Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble number 2, Nail in the Coffin. We will be reviewing the AEW Dynamite from July 14th, 2021, Fyter Fest Night 1. I am here with my esteemed colleagues, the co-host of AE Recap. First up, we have the man with the hottest takes on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. His battery is dying, Marcus Cash.
Howdy. It's hilarious.
And of course, we are here with the man of 4,000 subscribers. He is Mr. Jimmy Macram.
Hello.
40 now.
Yes. Oh, yes.
See, I know my stuff. All right, but yes, we are here to review AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1 from Austin, Texas, this week's episode. Of course, if you're watching us, if you're watching us right now live, drop a like on this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family. Of course, you can share it on all your favorite social media platforms. And if you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on True Hill Heat. And if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter, drop us a like, a heart emoji, a laugh emoji, an angry emoji. However, Fyter Fest Night 1 made you feel. I think we would get some angry emojis if certain people were watching us right now. But yes, before we get to chronological order on this episode of Dynamite, let's go over to the fellas from AE Recap. What was your one-word synopsis of this episode, Marcus Cash?
Ugh.
And Jimmy? Of course. This should be fun. We're going to start off, of course. And like I said before, leave your thoughts in the live chat. Let us know what you thought about AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1 if you're watching with us live in the live chat. Of course, if you want your comment highlighted to guarantee that $1 or more donation through the super chat, we will put your comment up on the screen with us. But we try to highlight as many comments as possible. And of course, if you're watching us on demand, drop those comments. Tell us what you thought. Match of the night, MVP, LVP of this episode in the comments section below. So let's get to it. We started off the night with the opener, Jon Moxley coming out defending the IWGP United States Championship against Karl Anderson, the Machine Gun, a battle of Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus the Elite. It's been going on pretty much the entire year. Moxley getting a hot reaction to Wild Thing in Texas. The fans were very happy to see Moxley's return here. Before the bell sounds, Eddie Kingston attacks Doc Gallows, having a fight through the crowd. So both of those guys are out of there. And then it comes down to Moxley and Karl Anderson. This is a hard-hitting matchup, similar to Karl Anderson's matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling, showing that he has a little bit of chops in the singles department, although we usually see him in tag team action. Moxley doing a little ode to one of his former competitors in New Japan, Minoru Suzuki, getting the rear naked choke into the power driver for a 2 count. Karl Anderson goes off the second ropes with a sling blade cutter move, but that only gets a 2 on Moxley. He goes up top again, but Moxley catches him, hits the paradigm shift for the 1-2-3 to defend the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. So, what was your thoughts on this opener right here, Jimmy?
Moxley's music does not go with his fucking video package, number one. You shouldn't change fucking music in the first place. Though I do appreciate opening with the song. It's a hot song. Not that it's good, but the crowd gets into it. So, it counts for something. Excalibur already... Oh, fuck you, Joe. Excalibur already ruined it by describing Karl Anderson as mostly a tag team wrestler. So I just tuned in. I'm out. No interest. Match was fine. Not the way you should bring back Jon Moxley, but it was fine for what it was. Man. pretty much. And yes, I feel this way even regardless of my mood, man. Last night, man.
Cash, what did you think?
While I could appreciate we had this Karl Anderson match on a night there was no QT or Cody Rhodes match because there's just way too many ace crushers happening, and this is supposed to be one of his moves where I'm supposed to like believe he might get the win here. It was nice to see Karl Anderson look like Karl Anderson instead of the goofball that he's been since he's been on AEW, dressing in ridiculous outfits with everybody else. So like,
to be fair, you said you liked him in WWE where he was 100% a goofball for about the 4 years he was there.
He still dressed in wrestler's things, though.
He was still a goofball.
He looked like a wrestler instead of a clown.
When your catchphrase is nerd, you're a goofball.
The nerdometer, one of my favorite things. But it's nice to see Machine Gun Karl Anderson look like a wrestler again for the first time in forever and a day. Now, in regards to his match against Bubba Ray Moxley, it was a fine match. Moxley, I liked watching Moxley in the ring. I like the fact that there weren't too many shenanigans. We got these guys out of there nice and early. They had a nice athletic competition, but it's like Jimmy said, I don't care. Like, yes, this is a forbidden door thing, so for somebody that matters, and we have this title from somewhere else, and that's cool because they both have lineages to Japan, and sure, that's cool. But like Moxley feels he's supposed to be your Stone Cold type character. You're doing Stone Cold like things, not just disappearing and then showing up to defend his title. Like, just have him just constantly running amok leading up to the challenge match instead of him disappearing for a week or two and then coming back. The first thing he does defend the title like he did against, what was it, Yuji Nagata?
Yeah. Also, didn't help that I don't buy Karl Anderson as a challenger. Nobody thought he was going to win, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That you guys are not alone on there. I like the match. I thought it was a nice way to open the show. It was a fun matchup. Like Cash said, I thought that Karl Anderson looked like he was a contender. He was a former G1 Climax finalist. So I enjoyed it, and it made Moxley look strong, which he needed to look in his return. I do agree it wasn't the strongest return. I wish he would have returned last week, and then it would have been a smoother transition into this match if he would have returned after the tag team match, especially with Eddie Kingston coming out with him. It would have made a lot of sense to do it that way, but I thought that this was a strong open to the show. Following the match, though, we had backstage Lance Archer with Jake Roberts talking about his history with Jon Moxley and the fact that Moxley beat him for the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship back at Wrestle Kingdom 14 in a Texas Death Match. And since next week is in Lance Archer's hometown of Dallas, Texas, he says, since we did a Death Match in Tokyo, let's do a Texas Death Match in Dallas, Texas. What do you think about Archer versus Moxley next week, Cash? I see your face. It was not enthused at all.
I don't want to see this at all. Let me put it like this. The only things I want to see less in this match are Peter Avalon ever, Brandon Cutler ever, Marco Stunt ever. It's very low on my. Where's my camera? It's very low on the list of things I want to see. I don't care. I'm not one of these guys that's like super excited about the death match. Like, I don't give a flying hoot about the death match thing. They've ruined. I don't. It's early in the morning for F-bombs. It's very early in the morning for F-bombs. But like, I don't like, they ruined Lance Archer. Lance Archer, he doesn't have go-away heat for me. I just have complete just blah, don't care heat for Lance Archer in AEW. And he should be. He's one of the things I want more of in AEW. He's a monster, but he's booked like trash. He's also not going to win this match. And I just don't care. I'm just waiting for the split from Jake Roberts that we're not going to ever get.
Do you think this match main events next week, Jimmy?
God. Oh, God.
Do we know if that Omega Hangman 10-man tag is next week?
I think it's going to be for Fight for the Fallen, which is in 2 weeks.
Yes, it probably headlines, sadly.
Oh, God.
Archer's one of those guys that talks talks a lot of shit, and then doesn't back it up. It's essentially the boy who cried wolf. You just don't buy it anymore. So whenever he's talking, even from his spine, you just go, but you're not gonna win. So I'm over it, sir. Sorry.
That is fair. That is a fair assessment. Like it says here, leave your thoughts on AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1 in the live chat here. We got Mixed Partial Farts saying, Karl Goofball Anderson. Ha, ha, ha. That is his nickname from how WWE booked him. But yes. Next up, you had backstage Andrade. We also got Romeo, our producer, saying, I heard the rules of a Texas death match are to beat your opponent to the point where they surrender or must get vaccinated. Is that true?
In
Texas, no, it's the loser maybe gets to get vaccinated. They also get out of Texas.
Texas got a lot of different wrestling shows this week, so I expect a spike in some way. Backstage, we had also Andrade. He says that he's been granted permission to win titles everywhere, and then he cuts off Alex Abrahantes, who is interviewing him, and asks him, where is Death Triangle? Which I was definitely excited about, the potential of Andrade versus Rey Fenix, or Andrade versus Pentagon, or Andrade versus Pac. Do you want to see that, or why are you so annoyed, Cash?
I'll go. First of all, I have to comment on Abrahantes' fucking Clark Kent outfit from the 1920s. That shit looked goddamn ridiculous. The promo starts off with them talking about Andrade wanting all these belts. So he has a forbidden door, open door policy. He can go wherever he wants. Meanwhile, Kenny Omega's there with all the belts. Just go to that guy. It's not complicated. Just open door. The door is right there. I would love to see him versus Pac or Phoenix. Penta, not so much. Only if we get the Abrahantes promos between him and Andrade, with Abrahantes translating for both Penta and Andrade, which would be fantastic. And I'm glad the Vicky was gone and the Butler was here.
Yeah, I did like that little touch, because you were one of the people that were very high on the butler, the assistant that carried its clothes last week. So I liked the fact that he was there, basically taking notes of what Andrade was saying during his interview. Well, how about you, Cash?
Butler was also keeping a very close eye on Alex Abrahantes. We're convinced AEW watches all the recap, right?
Very convinced, yes.
We're very convinced that
you guys will go big.
They take notes. I enjoyed both of these Andrade promos because these were two different promos. I have this open door policy where I can go after any title I want whatsoever and seen. Now separately, there is this Death Triangle thing. I'm excited to see all three of these matches. I want Andrade versus Penta. I want Andrade versus Phoenix. I want especially Andrade versus Pac, even though that goes against my WWE guys shouldn't face WWE guys. We should try to keep them separate a little bit longer till we're a little bit older as a company.
I say wait 20 some years.
None of much. But I am excited to see that particular match. But that had nothing to do with the open door title thing we just mentioned. Why do we bring it up? We could have had that as a separate thing this week or next week, and like one of those video packages where he's getting dressed or something, and he just talks about it with his little subtitles. They had no correlation between each other. Give me one or the other, or give me both separately, so you have Andrade on my TV twice.
That sounds like booking to me.
It does. I don't know.
What's the charge of booking?
I can't figure it out.
Boom! Shut up.
Well, next up, we had our next match, which was one of your guys' favorites, Ricky Starks, with his security in play. You had Hook looking as douchey as possible with that haircut and his leather pants, along with Hobbs, the Team Taz painting club. They looked like they were about to paint a house at ringside. And Ricky Starks got one hell of a pop in with his
watch the recap.
They all do. Everyone in Texas.
Everybody there.
With his Jaguars themed tights. I like that little touch versus Brian Cage with the for the FTW championship, and it seems like for the affection and the heart of Team Taz. I thought that this was started off a little bit slow because, of course, Ricky Starks is a little bit rusty. This is his first match back since his neck injury. But I thought, like, after the commercial break, this really got good. Both Ricky and Starks, and Cage looking good in this one. Ricky Starks hitting a great running power bomb for a great near fall that had the crowd on their feet. It seemed like Brian Cage had the advantage, so Starks went for the FTW championship, but Powerhouse Hobbs stopped him, trying to make this a fair fight. Oh, so we thought. But with the referee distracted by Hook, Hobbs nails Brian Cage with the FTW championship. Ricky Starks hits a spear, and he becomes the new FTW champion and the new de facto number one guy of Team Taz. I thought that this was a very fun matchup. The crowd elevated this a lot, making Ricky Starks the baby face because he has such an upbringing in the professional wrestling world in Texas. Although he's from New Orleans, a lot of his career was in Texas, so you kind of heard that. Especially, it was like he had family in the crowd, and it just made this match a lot more exciting to me. I thought it was a very good way to kind of continue on the show and make a new development in the story of Team Taz. How about you guys? Jimmy, first, what was your thoughts?
First of all, the pop Ricky guy, I had to rewind. I wanted to make sure I was going crazy. It's my family in the crowd. What is he, a Guerrero? The whole family was there. There's fucking 5,000 people cheering for this cocksucker. No offense. It's actually a cocksucker. I'm joking. I like this match. I wanted to love this match because, quite fucking frankly, we could have got some build-up for this match throughout the show if it didn't come on second.
Yes.
Maybe Team Taz interacting. Maybe Taz talking to both of his guys separately. Any of these things. This falls in the booking department, not in the talent department. But the match I thought was fine. I don't know about the swerve. It felt kind of reductive. What changes if Hobbs just lets him have the belt? Outside of the fact he doesn't get to make his smirk to the fucking audience.
Maybe they could be like a swing and a miss or a counter from Cage if Starks is swinging on him because he is smaller than Cage.
Or maybe he's not quite distracted.
Yeah.
It worked. I enjoyed it. I think we all kind of felt it coming, though. No?
Yeah, I did. I think I said this last week.
I saw the Stark special security thing, which I still want. And I wasn't sure. I was like, are they branching him off separately? Are they branching them both off separately?
Now that he's a champion, he needs special security.
There you go.
Keep him around.
There you go. Team Taz can focus on the tag ranks. I did not know that Ricky Starks' career was mostly in Texas. Knowing that now takes away from my feeling from the match a little bit. Because I gave the crowd credit for watching the recap. And that was the reason why they popped for him. And the fact that they popped for him just because he wrestled in the backyard over here. Like, But nonetheless, I loved this match. Yes, I'm aware there was some fumblings around and it wasn't as crisp as it could have been. And Starks is a little rusty. And I don't know if maybe they're the perfect match for each other. But I love this match. And I love the swerve. It felt a little Russo-ish to me, which I can appreciate. I know you guys don't. I can appreciate it. It felt a little
Russo. He's my coworker over at Sportskeeda Wrestling, so I respect him.
Absolutely. I can expect your takes to get worse.
I didn't know that. Shouts out to that guy.
First of all, the swerve if they would hit fucking Starks. That would have been a Russo swerve.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's a Russo story. Not what they did.
Just the back and forthness of it. Like, I like that because I was like, oh, are they siding with Cage? Starks is going off alone. And then we end up hitting Cage with Hobbs, and then the big celebration and the pop from Taz. And I was here for all of it. I'm here for Ricky Starks. I'm here for Ricky Starks with the belt. I'm here for Ricky Starks air guitaring his belt. I'm here for him holding the belt to his forehead. I'm here for the promo that's going to happen. I'm here for all of it. I'm not so much here for face turn Brian Cage, but circumstances of the event, we'll deal with that later.
If Cage is on a rampage, so to speak, I am here for it.
Yeah.
If he's on a rampage, I'm here for it. But once that settles off and he becomes Lance Archer 2, I'm not here for it.
I mean, he already is kind of Lance Archer already. He loses all his big matches, but
he
I
doesn't
think
flip flop like Big Show yet.
no, but I think he's on a path to a better because he's more fitting of a babyface because although he's a big guy, he does athletic moves, and you kind of can't not cheer him a lot of times, except for in Texas, obviously. But yeah. I liked Hobbs. I liked Hobbs's smile. That made it worthwhile for the little misdirection that they did. And then I love Taz screaming, "I love it." That was just awesome to me. Next up, guys, we had a little recap of what we saw last week with Malachi Black's debut, or as Jimmy coined it, Malachi Black and mild. ... Very mild. Cody Rhodes is here, and he's been so mad that he's held on to this for at least a week so that he could do this promo here. And he was fired up. This was the old fired up Cody Rhodes that made him one of the best baby faces in wrestling. He said a phone call would have sufficed Malachi Black. He was like, "You're one of the best talents, and if you would have called me, you would have had a job with AEW." He said, "What we don't do is kick a 62-year-old man in the face," and he doesn't feel that he's made his point, so he gets on the mic, goes to the ring, and basically calls out Malachi Black. Malachi Black responds on the video screen and tells a little story about a horse that he took behind, that the man took behind back, and he shot him in the head, and then he had the twinkle out of his eye. The fire wasn't in his eye anymore, and he was like, he doesn't see that fire in Cody Rhodes' eye anymore, and Cody got fired up once again and showed that fire, and Malachi Black says that's the Cody that he wants to face, and the lights go out, and Malachi Black is in the ring, and we have a fun full apart brawl that the fans were very much into, screaming, "Let them fight, let them fight." So I thought it was a strong way to continue it. Besides the Malachi Black horse promo, that can go either here nor there. But I thought the pull apart brawl of this was effective to continue the build. How about you, Cash?
I feel like you're being a little disrespectful to Malachi Black's Christopher Walken impression of the horse story. I'm here for the horse story. I thought that was the promo. That was great to me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I feel like that fits his character. Just a whole lot of talking about, like a Bray Wyatt kind of thing. Like a whole lot of talking about nothing, but like it fits for him specifically. Like Cody can't cut that promo, but this weird Mystique guy, he can cut that promo.
I think more than anything, I just thought the audio was off with it, and he looked like he was like at a party with a whole bunch of smokers, and you couldn't really see him due to the smoke fog and stuff. So there was just production and audio issues with the promo most than the dialogue that he gave us.
Whose department is that?
You're gonna keep asking, aren't you?
Notwithstanding, I still enjoyed it. Smoke and all, I enjoyed it. Cody waiting a week. Cody then doing the whole Nitro thing where he walks up to the commentator's booth with the headset talking to the camera. And then, no, you know what? This is more serious. I'm going to walk to the ring. And then cut the promo. And then it's just, I'm not here for Cody jumping in on everybody's debut. Like, everybody's debut. Like, everybody has to have an incoming program with Cody. He can just go, like, you got a baby. Go, don't you got a baby? Go be with your baby. Go away. Go scare your baby with your neck tattoo. Just be home for a bit. Let Malachi Black fight somebody not from WWE, even though you guys have never crossed paths. Let's keep that a little more separate. But the brawl was cool. I like the brawl. I like the seriousness of the brawl where like 1,000 people jumped in the ring to break it up. It was fine. I'm going to enjoy the match. I just don't want to see it yet.
A big what's up to Mixed Partial Fart saying what's up SP3 and friends. They have names, Jimmy Macram and Marcus Cash. We got Frantic World saying what's up everybody, as well as Jiren saying good morning, eyes emoji. Jimmy, what was your thoughts on week 2 of Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes?
You guys are being very pleasant to this fucking segment, quite frankly. I didn't enjoy Cody's talking into the fucking headset. That's just goofy. But you know what? I gotta be honest. I kind of just accept Cody for the eccentric 1970s fucking wrestling babyface that he is. He comes to the ring. He's yelling. First of all, stop yelling. It's late. Malachi Black's promo. I agree with both of you. The smoke and first of all, Jesus, this looks way too. It looks cheap and overproduced at the same time. This is weird. Like, this is already too much. And I guess I don't agree with you because I disagree about the promo. He's like, peace can get away with talk. Nobody can get away with talking about nothing. Ever. And to be fair, I get where he was going. He just didn't finish it. Like,
exactly.
Horses had all these races, and then it didn't have the same twinkle in his eyes. That's not how that works. You don't just assume the horse doesn't have anymore, then shoot the fucking head. You have to see that the horse doesn't have anymore. Then the horse started losing races, and then I shot him in the head. That's the promo.
Yes.
I had a twinkle in his eyes, then I shot it. What, are you a psychopath? That's the point. I'm okay with it. But otherwise, it doesn't work. And then Cody's like, I have the fire in my eyes. You just had the fire against QT. What are we talking about? This is ridiculous. I don't care about any of this. Yeah, guys, the only thing I was here for was Cody's suit. I like the ridiculousness of his suit as the pure white baby face versus the pure heel wearing all black.
I really enjoyed the fact that Malachi Black was wearing black and Cody was wearing white. It was a very visual storytelling. Yeah. That's what I enjoyed the most.
I did. The pull-up brawl, I could do without. The lights going off, even though Cody was an EVP, you would imagine he knows I like guy. I don't like. It's just sad. I chalk that part to wrestling. But the pull-up part, let him fight for at least a little bit. Malachi Black just had a fantastic intro, and all of a sudden he's equals again with fucking Cody. He's just another guy. Didn't him and QT and pull-up brawl at some point? Have him and MJF had a pull-up brawl at some point?
Nah, I think MJF always avoided him. That was the whole thing. The gimmick with MJF and Cody is that Cody couldn't touch him.
Well, he had a pull-up brawl with somebody, and it wasn't somebody important, which is the point.
I love it. We had Alex Marquez backstage trying to get a word with Tully Blanchard next about the cheap shot that he gave to Conan last week. He's approached by Santana and Ortiz, who basically tease an attack on him and tap Tully on the head and saying that it's fake bendejo. For the Spanish folks, for Marcus Cash, he'll probably tell you that's not good. Next time it won't be though, and they were taught to respect their elders, continuing the build up between FTR and Santana and Ortiz. When do you guys think that we're going to get this tag team matchup? Jimmy?
Jesus. Not next week, and I probably not after that. I'm okay with the big segment pay-per-view whenever that is.
I would too.
I must say, I thoroughly enjoyed this segment. If you've ever seen The Sopranos, they pulled this off several times where they do a fake assassination and then say, next time, there'll be no next time. You know what Santana looks like to me?
A star?
That's correct. You gotta get in every week. And I'm here. I'm here for it. I love this segment. Loved it. Tully was great. They were great. Awesome.
How about you, Cash?
I thoroughly enjoyed this segment as well. The faceness of it, of like they're gonna beat up Tully, this old man, but they're not because they're good guys. They're faces now, so they're not gonna actually beat him up. It's a fake fight. There was no serious threats. I enjoyed it. In terms of when I'm thinking we're gonna see this match, 2033.
Jesus.
2033, maybe. I might be a little eager in my guess. Considering how long they've prolonged this inevitable match already, who knows? It's already been way too long. How have they not have a standard tag team match?
Way too long?
I don't think it's been way too long.
A couple times, like
in group things. I'm talking 2 versus 2, maybe 2+1 versus 2+1 outside the ring, not trios. But they wait too long on matches that we don't want to see. At least this is one that we do want to see, so it's building anticipation for a lot of people. They have there's a few tag teams in particular that are very good in this company, right? To AEW's credit, Pride and Powerful is one of them. FTR is another one, and these guys separately don't have enough standard tag team matches on Dynamite specifically. I don't like. I see what they do.
That's a fair point.
I don't care enough to remember. I know they have YouTube matches. None of them are of any consequence. I should not see Varsity Blondes 2 weeks in a row ever when I don't see FTR having a standard tag team match once but every other month, maybe. And same thing with Pride and Powerful. They should be wrestling more both to the point where they would have collided already at some point, maybe in the lead up to the 5-on-5 match we had at the pay-per-view.
I feel like this is the match, though.
No, this is the match. Yeah, I don't think we've already seen all the other matches pretty much between the Pinnacle and Inner Circle. We saw twice with Wardlow and Hager. We've already seen Jericho and MJF last year. We've kind of seen they gave kind of Sammy and Shawn Spears the ending of the Stadium Stampede. The match that everybody wants to see between the Pinnacle and Inner Circle is Santana and Ortiz versus FTR. So building anticipation is making more people want to see this. I don't think that for a matchup like Christian versus Matt Hardy that we'll get to, I think they waited too long and thought that people would be more interested in that than they were. But this one is one where the more weeks that they hold it off, the more people are going to be into it, in my opinion.
You know what would be a good place for that match, though? And this is going to be way early in my estimate. Queens, New York.
No, I think that this is why I want FTR versus Santana and Ortiz at All Out, is that I want it to be a number one contenders match with Santana and Ortiz winning, so they get a shot at the Young Bucks in New York, in their hometown.
I'd be good with that being a triple threat tag.
I know you're an FTR guy. We get it.
But New York City is also like, yes, there'll be more so a Pride and Powerful city. But New York City can appreciate FTR in ring, and they can show them the appropriate love as well.
The appropriate love.
They deserve it.
the appropriate love.
So triple threat in Queens. Maybe we have a faulty finish at All Out.
Oh, Jesus. Vince Russo.
Get Russo on the phone.
So you said that you love this segment, Jimmy, but the next segment is the one that I love the most. Tony Schiavone is in the middle of the ring, and he is going to get a word with Hangman Adam Page. Out comes Page to another massive pop from the Texas crowd. Of course, Texas love a cowboy. And he says, literally since day one, he has wanted to be champion. He came so close. He could smell it, but he failed. He tried to run and hide from it, but the Dark Order is right. He still needs the title. He is here tonight to challenge for, and he's interrupted by Don Callis. Callis says that Hangman is not here to do anything. He is Don, of course, with the Young Bucks in peak douchey outfits. Oh my God, Nick Jackson with a dolphin throwing up rainbows. I need that outfit in my life. Seriously, I need that outfit in my life. He's also with Gallows and Anderson, Brandon Cutler, and of course the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and Matt Jackson, who gets in the ring and gets hit Hangman's face. He basically
segment's down to about 60.
Huh?
Segment's down to about a 60, from 100 to a 60. Okay, go ahead, continue.
He said he wants to talk right to his face. He rolls in the ring. He's wearing some fresh dunks, I do have to mention. And he says that they were best friends, and it blows Matt's mind that he left them for a bunch of losers, which was kind of funny because I'm pretty sure he wanted to leave for months and you wouldn't let him, and then you kicked him out. But to each his own. That's a heel. The heel has a revamped history lesson here. Matt then smells Paige's breath, and he says that he can tell he's still hitting the bottle, and that fits the narrative perfect. The sad, lonely, drunk cowboy by himself at the end. One person to blame, Hangman Page. Let's face it, Page is the next great wrestling tragedy. And how does that make him feel? He doesn't have the balls to hit Matt, which he does. He then tries to fight off the rest of the elite. It looks like Kenny Omega is going to attack him from behind with the AEW World title, but of course, the Dark Order come down and have his back. They stop Omega, and Omega leaves the ring. Dark Order backs Paige up, and they're staring at the Elite. Paige grabs the mic, and he tells Kenny that he came here tonight for a match, and he ain't leaving without one. Neither is Kenny, though. Kenny laughs it off and says Hangman Page wants a match. They can do that. Paige wants Omega in this ring all to himself, but he'll do one better. He basically challenges to a all elite, the Elite versus the Dark Order in a 5-on-5 elimination match with special stipulations. If Hangman Page and the Dark Order win, they get a shot at not only the AEW World Championship with Paige and Omega, but the Dark Order will get a shot at the AEW World Tag Team titles. But Kenny Omega turns this back and says,
all right.
Kenny Omega turns this back and says that if the Elite wins, that Hangman Page will never get a shot at the AEW World Championship. And Page accepts, and he says that the Dark Order doesn't back down from a fight. What did you think of this week's segment with Page and Omega, the Elite, and the Dark Order, Jimmy?
Boo. I'm joking mostly. I actually really like this segment. Hangman got a huge pop, which made me very happy. I've never been happier to be wronger in my life about how over Hangman has stayed throughout the pandemic. I guess you could do like sympathetic, down on their luck, fucking white meat baby face. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. I thought we were a little more cynical than that. Maybe it's just me. This whole segment worked. 95% of this segment worked. I would say in between Matt Jackson grabbing the microphone and right before the punch, all that didn't work. But everything before that and everything after that worked. Even what Matt said, I'm being a little mean. Everything Matt said was fine. I mean, it worked for the story. I would prefer somebody else deliver it. Like, I don't know. Only if you had a fantastic promo. He didn't have to be a wrestler, just enough to cut a promo. Who do we have like that?
Maybe somebody that dresses in a suit, with sharp, clean looking.
Sure.
Older fella.
Glasses?
Man,
that would have worked. Callis or somebody.
I think it worked because Matt Jackson was the one that Hangman was originally against in the Elite. Yes. That was the one that would spit in that they spit in each other's faces. That was the one that had the most animosity during the first time that they went at it.
Agreed. This is one of those things where the two of you would get into it about we can't go back and change it. Probably should have went back and not have you Matt Jackson because now you got to talk. Boo. But yeah, it was fine. Actually, I said last week I wanted the Dark Order to go away. I like them here again in this segment. It worked. It worked for me. You know what? Let's fucking pull a Malachi Black. Let's just keep going until it has no more twinkle in its eyes. I'm here for it.
I told you what, 2 weeks ago, Snow White and the Seven Doors. There's actually 7 of them. There's actually
him sticking up for the fucking Dark Order kind of warmed my soul again. I'm not sure how they're pulling this off. It's cynical and evil as I am, but
I love how he unintentionally said that he's a part of the Dark Order by saying that the Dark Order doesn't back down from a fight because they're his friends. They've always had his back. He's gonna have theirs. It's heartwarming. It's wholesome. Cash, what was your thoughts on this segment?
Yeah, similar thought. I'm here for him standing up for the Drunk Order.
I love it, the Drunk Order.
Right? Can we make that happen? They're good guys. Just have the octopus and each of their 8 arms has little mugs. If I see that T-shirt, TK, I'm coming.
That'd be
that will be confirmation. Besides the fans cheering for Ricky Starks that they watch AEWramble.
Be Drunk Order. But I'm here for them. Him sticking up. I don't like faces typically. I love the bad guys, but him sticking up for them, that was a great moment. I enjoyed that. What went unnoticed, and I want to give a personal shout out because I'm a personal fan of this dude. But the fact that Kenny Omega jumped out the ring specifically when, and I'll butcher this, when Born and Bred for Combat Stu Grayson was the one that came in the ring, and Kenny Omega went, nope, fuck that, and he got out because he wants no parts of Stu Grayson. Give me that match. You want to put Kenny Omega versus random guy. Stu Grayson is random guy. That'll make an actual good match out of him, not Joey Janela.
Random shocker. Right?
Shocker.
Right? But I appreciate that. I appreciate the shout out to his group. I like their version of their first Survivor Series match because that's what it is. Obviously, Drunk Order has to win this match because we have to set up that world title and I guess also tag team title matches. My concern here, though, is the drop-off is very quick in the Drunk Order when you start counting 5 guys for this match. You have Hangman, Adam Page. Do we know if this match is before John Silver gets cleared? Obviously, Cole Cabana's a guy. My hope is Stu Grayson's a guy. And then, 10?
Evil Uno. You got to have Evil Uno. He's been the spokesman. You got to have Evil Uno.
It just goes
They got 5 guys.
It just goes
Come on.
very quick.
They got 5 guys.
Hangman, 10. And who gives a fuck?
Exactly. And Stu, I mean, 10 was in a main event match against Darby Allin, so this wouldn't be his first.
But the issue is these are 5 guys who want to go up against these established, the Bucks, Omega.
I think the story kind of writes itself. Is that the Elite is gonna somehow, some way? I think we need to have it where it is Young Bucks and Kenny Omega against Hangman Page. That's the final order. You find some way to have Omega like hit him with the title and get himself disqualified, so we don't really get to see Hangman get his hands on Omega, and then it's Hangman versus the Young Bucks, and he wipes through both of them to win the match.
Wow.
Don't hate that.
Anytime Matt Jackson loses, I don't hate it.
I also would appreciate
that is if you try to go to join the order. That's what you're gonna see if anyone tries.
Oh, we gotta make it. Was it joindaddy.com? We can get that happening. But yeah, maybe if Hangman and Page need a little help from that random white guy that used to do the Dark Order vignettes. Just bring him in. They've never done anything with that guy. That guy's never been on television. Can we get that guy? That guy was awesome. He's been like in person?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can we get him? That guy's been awesome. Where's he been?
It was a one-time thing. We got Kenneth Stones from Dirty Heels in the building here. Thanks for joining us. Leave your thoughts on AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1. But I really enjoyed this. I think that this has the potential, the 5-on-5, to be a TV match of the year if it's given time, because I feel like the Young Bucks have been on their game as heels. Kenny Omega, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Hangman Page is if he's making Jimmy Macram's heart grow 10 times larger with wholesome segments, you know he's a great babyface. Look at that.
By the way, Kenny's fucking
picture.
Triple H Harley Race facial hair, I'm here for it. So commercial with him with his regular hair, not here for it. This nonsense, fantastic.
I am here for it. It worked out a lot, even at Slammiversary last night with him and Sami Callihan, which was another excellent, great matchup. I know you guys don't watch Impact Wrestling, but that one match is worth going out of your way to see. And Kenny Omega has encountered a member of the Bullet Club last night with Jay White. So we're seeing Bullet Club versus the Elite in Impact Wrestling. We're seeing former Elite member Hangman Page go against the Elite in AEW. So it's very interesting times for Kenny Omega. Check out the Impact Wrestling Slammiversary 2021 pay-per-view round.
Plugging everything here. What is this?
Did the other 15 people that watched Slammiversary agree with you on that? About that being
Slammiversary was trending worldwide on Twitter, so more people. Hey, this is a trend. This is the trend for Impact Wrestling, is that you put Kenny Omega on their pay-per-views, they're having record buys for their pay-per-views for the first time in like 10 years.
Oh, I thought everybody tuned in to see No Way Jose make his debut. Okay.
Hey, they didn't tune in for that. They tuned in for Kenny Omega. Backstage, we move to Chris Jericho having another promo about the 5 layers of Jericho. Jericho tells MJF he should have read all the tale of Hercules because Hercules wins. Jericho doesn't care who is in the ring with him. Superman, Black Panther, Ali, Jericho will win. And Jericho will walk through fire, run through glass, because he is the god of thunder, the god of war, which I should note, Jericho has trademarked this, so he is going to probably try to
what?
God of War.
How? Isn't that a video game?
It's a video game. It's a fucking. They use it in DC. They use it in Marvel Comics. The God of War. I guess it could be wrestling specific?
Yeah, you can do wrestling specific trademarks. In comes Shawn Spears, who clocks Jericho right in the throat with his chair. I was like, damn, that hurts. And of course, our producer Romeo hates him some Shawn Spears.
I hear this, so this segment was fantastic.
MJF tells Jericho that his first labor will be against Shawn Spears, where Spears can use a chair, but Jericho won't. That will be on AEW Fyter Fest Night 2 next week. And then he hits Jericho's arm with the steel chair. Shawn Spears, the injured arm of Jericho. What did you guys think of this segment to build up the match for next week?
I thoroughly enjoyed this segment. This is probably my segment of the night. Jericho's promo was fine. Punching a dead Muhammad Ali in the face is probably a bit much, but I will take it. I love the label of Jericho as an idea. I love it as a name. I didn't even peep the chapter 1, so you pointed it out. I thoroughly love that part. And I love MJF here. MJF's one of the guys I never get excited to see, but he's always fantastic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of technically brilliant. And to be fair, after the Spears chair shot, the first one that is on the neck, I'm excited for the fucking Spears match. I'm curious to see what he can pull off.
Says it all right there, doesn't it?
You watched the recap, by the way. Cash, Shawn Spears. Oh, Cash criticized him about his fucking chair shot. Taking that chair to the base, he pulled it off significantly better.
Twice. That being said, I want to apologize for that egregious hashtag that just appeared in your corner a few seconds ago where Shawn Spears ruins things. The Canadian God does not ruin things. Jesus. That was a fantastic chair shot to the neck of Chris Jericho. The shot to the elbow, the fulfillment, the sense of fulfillment in his smile as he's sitting there next to MJF talking shit to Chris Jericho, and the shot to, I'm appreciating so much. This is the Shawn Spears that the chairman should have been. Just this American Psycho, and I'll get to that again in a second later. But this is American Psycho like Shawn Spears, Canadian Psycho, where he's just super happy to just cause carnage with his chair and just run amok. But he's not important enough to be a guy. He's just somebody hired hitman that you can be the foil also.
Yes, fantastic role player.
He's a B+ player. And he just does
He's a solid hand. He's a solid hand.
So I appreciate it. I'm excited for chapter 1. I'm excited to see what chapters 2 through 4 are. Give it to me. Give it to me.
And I have to give them credit. They've done a good job of rehabbing Shawn Spears. Like you said, the chairman gimmick didn't go over too well, but ever since his being in the Pinnacle, I feel like he's a lot better and he fits his role very well.
Reclamation of the existence of AEW. That award goes to Shawn Spears so far.
Next up, we had Matt Hardy going one-on-one with Christian Cage. This match has been building for a couple of weeks here.
Decades. 23 years in the making.
23 years in the making. Only their third match on national TV, even though they've been feuding for nearly almost 4 decades, it seems. 90s, 2000, 2001s, and 2010s and 2020. So that's 4 decades for Matt Hardy and Christian Cage. This was a well-worked match for what it was. I thought that the finish was the worst part of this. It just didn't make any sense. Matt Hardy gives Christian a twist of fate on the outside of the ring. He beats the 10 count. He gets in the ring. And Matt seems like he's going for the twist of fate, but Cage just reverses it and hits the kill switch and wins. It just seemed pretty odd. I mean, throughout this match, they worked very well with each other. Matt Hardy with a vicious DDT on the steel steps on the outside, like you saw with the picture there. Christian Cage with a great dive to the outside. But yeah, the finish kind of threw me out of this for any good that I kind of saw in it. I was just very confused with that finish. What was your thoughts on this match, Jimmy?
When you said well-worked match, I went, that's about as good as you can give it. That's appropriate. It's a girl with a very nice personality. Well worked, with very few mistakes. Yes, good job. The finish blew my. It definitely felt like somebody was.
I don't even remember the finish.
He just told you it was twist of fate, and then It's like he didn't even like do it, and then Christian reversed. He was like had it. Christian was like, no, I don't want to do that. We gotta go into the fucking kill switch.
He's like, you gotta go home. We gotta go home. We gotta go home.
Yeah, I felt like somebody was just writing it, and then like, you know, I just want to get to the end. Let's go home. It's over. I'm so glad this happened on this night because we can move on. It's over. I was actually more curious about Jungle Boy and company coming out at the end. Not company, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, the Marco stunt. Coming out at the end and raising Christian on his shoulders. I felt a little confused because Jungle Boy looked, as much as he can look anything, looked a little jealous, question mark, or confused as to why Christian was on his shoulders. I did not like that because last week he looked like a douche. What'd I say? He looked like a douche when he was holding the fucking trophy. I said that. And now here we go, I'm looking jealous of Christian. That would be the opposite of the way this is supposed to go. Do not do this.
Do this.
Of course.
Do this. Anna Jay should be coming back at some point. Hollywood Jackson Perry. Trademark it now with the star of the show, Anna Jay, because the Dark Order doesn't need a female, especially since Tay Conti just never joined. She can just go do a separate thing, and it could be a Hollywood couple.
He has the charisma of flypaper. Coffin, great wrestler, fantastic. Want to see some big things, but come on.
You get a talker for them. They're too good to talk. Then that could be the thing. I'm too good to talk to you, right? Put that on a t-shirt, and then you just have somebody talk for them. But in terms of the match, so 23 years in making. This is their third match. When was their last encounter against each other?
2003.
2003. So about 18 years, right? So it's been a long time since we've seen this, right? So I was a little curious how this would go. So you know how some people would like simulate like the NBA finals on their gaming system or whatever, and just predict how it would go, right? So I did that. So I loaded up my PlayStation 1. And I booted up SmackDown, like the first one, just to see how that would go. And I also did not care when that match ended because I've seen both of these guys forever. I don't want to see either of these guys ever again. Yes, Christian's had some good matches that I've admitted to, but I just don't care about either human being in wrestling anymore. I just
I love how you said either human being that in wrestling. Like you could have just said either human being. We know.
No. Like I don't know how they are outside the ring. I'm sure they're fantastic people, but their existence inside of like the square circle, I don't give a shit about either one of you whatsoever. Go away. It's a little bit later. It's just go away. But the aftermath, right? Luchasaurus and Luchasaurus and Jack Perry come out. They make the save. I like that. We made a point, I feel, to not include Marco Stunt because what help is that? That's really a detriment. The jealousy, I didn't even catch the jealousy, so now I gotta go back.
I didn't say jealousy, it might have been confusion.
You just looked at him awkwardly.
I have a reason now to go and rewatch Dynamite now, which is always a good thing, right? For a company, we have a reason to go back and watch it because I didn't even notice that. So now I gotta go look for this jealousy or confusement look, befuddlement look from Jackson Perry.
And his face,
or that just might be his face at Luchasaurus. Maybe we get the heel turn thing.
Yes, the face.
Right? We could it's just one face all the time. But we can also maybe now get him away from Luchasaurus, which is not as egregious as the little one, but still, like, he just deserves so much better because he's a future star, first one to 51 wins, right? So we can just branch him off into anything else. And I'm just here for that. And then I guess he'll be the heel because we're not going to boo Christian, right?
Yes, we're going to boo Christian.
We should
black baby face fucking heat here.
We should boo Christian. We're not going to book Christian as a heel, though.
They might. Christian's smart enough, even if Dummy Khan isn't.
But all creative begins and ends with TK, though. So I can't see a situation where they make Christian the heel.
We will have to see. We got some love for Slammiversary here in the live chat. A happy birthday to Anna J, number 99. We got CM in the live chat here saying Slammiversary was actually good, but see,
those are the next 14 people got
16. But she did not like Jackson Perry here. She says, yeah, Jungle Boy is kind of bland.
Kind of bland. Kind of. That was nice.
We also got Mixed Partial Fart saying Jungle Boy way too vanilla and no mic skills. And of course, Romeo calling everybody out saying, oh, they coming with the pitchforks for Jungle Boy in the chat here.
Yeah, because Jungle Boy is but Hollywood Jackson Perry. 2020, what year are we in? 2022 is not ready.
He's gonna keep going with this until it fails.
HJP.
When we're talking about mic skills and we're talking about charisma, it's a perfect segue to our next segment where Miro cut a promo, and he told a story, and he told a story a lot better than Malachi Black, in my opinion. Miro said he has a story about a man with a hot wife being lost for not being himself. The man was also hot. After some months, a voice from above came in and told the man to forgive himself and remember who he was, a man with power. He wasn't selfish. He forgave everyone he destroyed, and this made him God's favorite champion. And the title was his reward. A true champion will defend his title with his life, and he is willing to defend his title with your life. Awesome line. He is the Redeemer, and he shows off a new TNT championship that is actually representative of where he's from in Bulgaria. So it's the Bulgarian flag colors. It's actually got the mountains of Bulgaria on the side plates, which represent Miro making it to the top of the AEW mountain. It actually has also some side plates that are representative of the exact city that he is from, and it stands for like Prevail. So it's a lot of detail. I like the fact that it seems like every TNT champion is getting their own specific design for the title too, which is a cool little touch with the title. What did you guys think of this promo from Miro?
I apologize about my comments earlier about the Jericho segment. This was the segment of the night. You know when Rock went from super cool babyface to corporate Rock? He was already good, then he got even better. This is what Miro reminds me of. Now, let me be clear before people lose their fucking minds. Miro, either variation, is not The Rock. Let's be clear. But I already liked him before the Redeemer, essentially. I love him now. And he had several fucking bombs that I loved. And to be fair, this was Malachi Black's promo done right. With a hint of, I know this is all ridiculous.
Yes.
And he just says it like it's preposterous. That is clean. I love Miro. I'm not sure about that AEW still being black. I'd probably think red, maybe green.
I guess you hate the company logo though.
No, you can change the color.
Yeah, the person that described the championship also said that he might not wear like, shorts that are white. He might be still wearing the red because that is representative of Bulgaria as well. And the red stands for the blood that he's willing to spread to defend the title.
Miro's fantastic.
I didn't know about the side plates. I didn't notice the side plates. They're just terrible. I got super excited though when I saw the white TNT championship. I don't need to be Bulgaria specific. I think that is a really, really cool look. I would not hate that sticking around as a white strap for the TNT title. It gives it such a different look over all the rest of their titles. And the other channel doesn't use the white strap anymore, so why not just make that your own thing?
True.
Here for that fantastic promo. You guys obviously love that last line.
Yes.
Defend it with other people's lives.
Yes.
That's fantastic. I also particularly popped though for the part where he went, "You have a title, you have a problem." So anyone that has a title is still, despite the fact that he's got a belt around his waist, you got a title, you have a problem. God's favorite champion still coming for you. He's still gonna crush. It's still game over. The Redeemer will claim all, and some he won't. But I want him to claim all, and I'm here for just the wreckage and the carnage every week. I need Miro on my television every week. Britt Baker, MJF, FTR, Miro,
Nick Jackson.
I agree.
There's Nick Jackson. There's just a small group that needs to be specific every week, and Miro has joined that elite club of people that need to be on television every week and not randomly disappearing.
Miro's I've forgiven everybody I've destroyed is another fantastic line.
Yes.
Miro just dropping all of them.
I just love. I would say that this is probably AEW's greatest job as far as rehabbing somebody from where they debuted to where they are now. I think that this might be like the best job AEW has done. We got in the live chat here, CM saying, talking about Jungle Boy. I like him, but considering who his dad is, he's bland. Not Shawn Spears bland, but bland. Mixed Marshall farts saying, LOL, Miro always shouting out his hot wife is hilarious. Miro's a funny guy. He also says Shawn Spears bulked up and is kind of like Hager now.
Those two things don't go together, bulked up and Hager.
Or Wardlow. He also says, I didn't know the TNT championship changes with whoever holds it, not just the name, logo, plates on the side. Yeah, it's kind of cool. You know, Cody had the TNT championship that wasn't really designed at all. Then he got the new title and it immediately went to Brody Lee. Then when Darby Allin became champion, he got the black strap, and now Miro has the white strap. So very, very interesting how this has been changing with the champions. But we got to move on to one of the people Marcus Cass said he wants to see on his television every week, and that is Dr. Goat Baker. Awesome meme by our producer here. Awesome meme. Did you watch AEWramble today? Yeah, Jimmy Macram compared Miro to you.
That was very quick work on the meme.
Inside TNT guy.
Yes, but we got to talk about Dr. Goat Baker, D.M.D. Brit talking about what happened 2 weeks ago when Nyla put her through the table. She got a great babyface pop here in Texas. She hugs her best friend. Hugs her best friend Tony Schiavone. She says that not to worry because she's gone through worse. The blood stopped, the wounds healed, and she came out the baddest bitch on the block. She has no fear. What is daunting, though, is keeping Nyla relevant. Imagine winning the title only to find out your first challenger is Nyla. Yes. Yes, she's beat Britt multiple times. She's at the top, but she's at the top of the food. She's at the top of the food chain, but Britt is off the menu. She is special order and in a league of her own. She knows Vicky is back there, and lucky for her, she has a name that will forever keep her relevant. Ooh, spicy. But Nyla won't. She needs the title to have any type of significance, but this title isn't going anywhere. With the title, she's the hottest thing in pro wrestling, but even without it, she's still Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. This was a great promo by Britt Baker. As per usual, when Dr. Goat Baker gets the microphone, Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose were backstage. They say Britt's days are numbered. Nyla tells Baker that her whole life things have been handed to her, so next week she'll hand Britt Baker an ass whooping world class. So I thought it was cool to have them watching the promo and then immediately respond. It was a nice touch here to build up the match next week. What was your thoughts on Baker's promo, Cash?
It was a good promo. I like the promo. I didn't particularly love it. It felt a little facious for my taste.
This was a babyface promo, 100%.
Yeah, it felt a little faceless. It's a little concerning. I'm a little disconcerted about it. You know, the praising of, I guess you can't slam the Guerrero name, but I would have twisted it a little bit, be like, the only reason you are still relevant is because of your last name versus respecting the name itself. But yeah, I mean, hardcore icon Britt Baker, she's fantastic, right? Like I said, she's must see every week. You got to give us something. The match and the feud with Nyla, blah. I'd rather focus on the other half of this because we already know the dentist is the GOAT, Dr. GOAT. Nyla Rose, though, everything has always been handed to you. Has it, like, Britt Baker's title opportunity, I sound like I'm wrestling for WWE, title opportunity. Her title shot been long overdue in the first place. Like, didn't she go eons longer than she should have gotten the title shot to begin with?
Yes.
How was everything just handed to her?
She's a heel. What do you want to say?
Yeah, you gotta say that.
No, they. I don't want either one of these two talking. Honestly, Nyla or Vicky. It's just, can we break them up? Can we put them away somewhere? Not on YouTube, just put them away. Like what you did with that tournament winner, the Mine. Can we just shoo them in a box somewhere
She
and put them all somewhere?
She was just here for the month to get that title shot and then go on her way.
Yeah, piss all the way.
On the way to Dynamite and then to Dark and then to off the TV.
Piss all the way off.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you trash Nala like this because I remember Nala cutting some fantastic promos.
Yes.
This is obviously pre-Vicky. And this is why I can't give Tony Khan any credit for what he's done with Miro. Because of what he's done with Lance Archer, because of what he's done with Nyla Rose, because of what he's done with all these people, is reason I can't give him any credit for Miro. Just a broken clock is right twice a day, or in this case, once every 2 years, or whatever the fuck. I cannot allow it to happen. Now, let's go big. Big Grandma, as always, that's what she does. To babyface, yes. Even if you turn her babyface, listen, if she was going to be a babyface, this is the kind of babyface promo she should cut. It's edgy. She's not kissing ass. Whatever.
She's still a badass.
She should not be a babyface. Not nearly yet. There's too many face challenges. I'm going to give Britt Baker the benefit of the doubt. Not Tony Khan. She doesn't deserve it. But Britt Baker the benefit of the doubt that this is strictly for Nyla. And once we're done with this, we can move on to Yuka or fucking any one of the fucking
Statlander.
Any one of the 100 fucking babyface women they have on the goddamn roster.
Not she though.
I think it's mistimed, but I think Tony Khan was like, they're coming back to fans.
Tony Khan was like, what?
Huh?
Tony Khan was like, yeah, I guess.
He was like, if they're gonna be back in front of fans. Fans are gonna be hot for Britt Baker. Let me give her a heel. But it feels mistimed because in August they're gonna be in Pittsburgh, and we know Pittsburgh's gonna be cheering for Britt Baker. So now they got to find another heel to verse her then. So I understand keeping her in this tweener position so she can go against the baby faces, go against the heels, but it just feels a little mistimed with Nyla here.
You put her against somebody who's a super face for when you first start going into the crowd, and you just treat Pittsburgh like it's Canada. You just treat it where it's like, well, it's this particular city, they're gonna love her. I don't understand. Have Excalibur do it, I guess, even though everybody else will be better. Just be like, I don't understand what's happening here. Maybe it's just Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's weird. They're cheering for the bad girl. But just no. All of this, no. Just I'm so excited to get this out the way. It feels disrespectful to Dr. Goat, but I just want this out the way so we can move anywhere else.
So just put a super over babyface. Like who? That ain't one. The most you go with
in Texas, it would have been Thunder Rosa, but I feel like it's too soon to go back to that match.
And was she at the pay-per-view or wherever she was at?
She was at Slammiversary last night, but she was on Dark Elevation, I believe, this week.
Ooh,
so
great. And she fought one of her other students or something, probably.
Yeah. She's getting
the Thunder Rosa
those wins.
Perfect throughout, like from first challenger through Pittsburgh.
No.
Yes.
You don't do Thunder Rosa as the first challenger. Thunder Rosa is the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view.
This is Austin and Rock. Enough of this.
We could have
pay-per-view.
That's a whole other story. We could have the redemption of Thunder Rosa. She thought she was hot shit. She beat unofficially, unsanctioned Britt Baker, and then she loses the title shot, and then now she go fight her students to get her confidence back, and then maybe paint the other side of her face or something.
You said another edge. Goes around and beats them.
Just goes around and beats her students.
On YouTube, beats the rest of her students because she flies in 800 of them. And then, and then she can go and earn herself another opportunity as she works her way up these rankings that matter so much.
That broke me. That broke me right there. Oh my
God. His face. Oh, he's such a cornball. Jesus.
Who's he hugging?
The negative one.
Oh my God. Next up, speaking of people that are over in Texas, once again, Sammy Guevara went one-on-one with Willa Yuta. Willa Yuta making his AEW Dynamite debut here. He's an unofficial member of the Best Friends. He had Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor in his corner, and man, oh man, was Sammy over here. He looked like a superstar with that reaction, and he had a dominant performance, kicking out at one point of one of Willa Yuta's splashes off the top rope. He then hits a springboard cutter and then hits the GTH for the victory here. I thought that this was a very strong showcase for Sammy Guevara, keeping him strong after his loss to MJF. What did you guys think about this one?
Why didn't we use a heel?
Huh?
Why didn't we use a heel?
Why didn't we use somebody we knew?
That's the point. You don't use somebody you know. You just get it out the way. This was quick.
Why did we use a heel?
It was not quick, but
it was less than 4 minutes. How was that not quick?
Introduce this guy. We introduced him with the Best Friends. First of all, the Best Friends music guy.
Yeah.
He comes
I agree with that. They probably should have used the heel. That is fair. That's
comes down. He's got his jacket on. He looks kind of like a badass. The first time ever on fucking Dynamite, I'm like, okay. Let's see what he got. He's facing Sammy. It's an odd face versus face choice, but whatever. And then it's essentially a glorified squash match. Why? Do we not like him? Is he getting punished for the coronavirus? It doesn't seem AEW style.
Wow, why would he be punished for the coronavirus?
Oh, wait, where's he from?
Jacksonville?
No, I think he's from someplace else. But, yeah, why?
Yeah,
why?
And correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding, Sid, is that you don't watch the YouTube shows as much, right?
I've been starting to watch it more because it's shorter.
Okay. But definitely not like can't miss television and something that you make a point to get through, right? It's this guy, Wheeler.
I watch everything, so.
Wheeler Yuta, he has had 2 matches on YouTube, right? So he's technically 2-0 from YouTube, one of it being a tag match. And somehow that's equaled an opportunity to wrestle on Dynamite. And you need to watch YouTube because that's the only way you understand why in the blue hell he's randomly with the Best Friends.
Whoa. They actually showed highlights of his victories, and that's something that AEW never does with Dark Elevation. So I got to give them credit for at least showing us the highlights that this guy has won matches.
And I agree with you.
And he's not 2-0, by the way. He lost to Karl Anderson. I did see that edition of Dark Elevation.
Didn't know. So that's worse for my point. I give them credit. I give them credit for showing us. That's worse for my point. He's 2-1 now. There's people that's been on YouTube for like a bajillion years who haven't been on Dynamite.
Who are not ready. He looked good for the 4 minutes that he was in the ring with Sammy Guevara.
There's nothing to. I don't care about this guy. You've given me nothing about why he's with Best Friends on Dynamite. You didn't build it on Dynamite at all. You just trotted it out there because it happened on YouTube.
To be fair, Cash, we've been on this for over an hour, and you only care about 25% of the roster. So saying that you don't care about him is not a fair assessment. What Jimmy said is a fair assessment. It should have been a heel. I do agree with that.
And a fair assessment would be if you're going to bring him out with Best Friends on Dynamite, there should be some interaction with him on Dynamite with the Best Friends instead of, if you don't watch YouTube, I don't know what to tell you.
They showed the highlight. They showed why he's friends with Best Friends.
But they didn't interact. They just gave me a clip that big, and I don't like. I know I said it's my thing. I don't care. But you give me no reason to care.
I care because his name is cool, and he has a cool jacket, and he's got a villain thing, and then he lost in 4 minutes. I don't understand.
See? This is what I like. You got on me for not knowing that the middleman were together because I only seen 2 of them on Dynamite.
The wingman, the pretty picture.
Wingman, middleman, lower card guys.
Look at this one.
I don't care about those guys. I only don't care about like 10% of the roster. I care about most of the roster, and at least they gave me a reason to care and understand why the Best Friends were coming out with Wheeler Yuta here. So I have to give them credit when they finally do show us something from the YouTube channels.
It could have been a lot of different people.
Okay, that's a fair assessment.
I guess.
But we got we got a comment here answering Romeo's question where he asks who is going to be more over, Britt Baker or Becky Lynch. Mixed Martial Farts says Britt's a heel, Becky's going to be a face, so it's Becky. Plus she's coming back anytime, and anytime someone comes back after a while, it's always a big pop.
Let me be clear. I love Go Baker, my favorite female wrestler since Sasha Banks' debut. But Becky Lynch is one of the most open motherfuckers I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like, this is not a discussion. Exactly. It just is what it is.
Very true.
Are we also counting in the fact that, unfortunately, I'll say, more people just watch that other thing over there than this thing over here? So
to be fair now, if you're saying that if we are under the understanding that Becky Lynch is going to Raw, it's not as wide of a margin as it used to be, sir. 1.4 million is not that much higher than 1.025 million that AEW got this week, and AEW won in a lot of the 18 to 49 key demo.
Still more people cheering.
If Becky Lynch debuted in the Park, she would get a bigger pop than Go Baker. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. I ain't never seen no shit like that before with Becky Lynch.
The fans do love Becky. That is true. That is true. Backstage, we had a segment that I'm not even going to ask you guys about, where QT Marshall and Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado were interviewed very quickly. I almost didn't miss this. I had to go back and watch this. QT is pissed, thinking he was squashed by the Golden Shovel, Cody Rhodes. No, he pours protein on Tony's head. Let's move on to...
That was so bad. It was so bad. Get QT.
Penelope Ford went one-on-one with the returning Yuka Sakazaki, one of my favorites from Japan, with the best theme music out there. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's one of the best. This one is, of course, Yuka. She always has a lot of energy. She's doing dives. She's doing her high-flying moves. Penelope Ford was good here. Yuka Sakazaki gets the win with her springboard splash, the magical girl splash for the 1-2-3. This was short, ineffective. It went about 7.5 minutes long. Like I said, Yuka Sakazaki brought a lot of energy, and the fans in general went against, like, one of the rules of WWE. If someone's off television and from another country, WWE believes that the fans won't remember them, won't care about them. But the fans were very much into Yuka Sakazaki, gave her a great reception here. What do you guys think about Yuka versus Penelope Ford? Jimmy?
Penelope Ford is insanely hot. Sorry to be sexist. It is what it is. It's distracting every time she comes out.
It's rough.
Yeah. No offense to Skip Sabian. Wait, no offense to Penelope Ford to begin with. No offense to Skip Sabian. Wow. But number two, I'm glad Yuka's back, I guess. I would have been a lot more happy if she would have won the fucking tournament. But
I agree.
It's fine. If she's the next challenger for fucking Go Baker, or better yet, if she'd been the current challenger for Go Baker, I'd be here for it. But she's not. And instead, I'm getting her in some random match against Penelope Ford, who this wasn't either one of their best matches to me.
Fair.
No. That's fair.
Fair. You kind of stole some of my thunder there. Yuta could have came back and been a challenger for Britt Baker instead. But this match felt very like Wheeler Yuta situation to me. This could have been somebody else, right? We have this lady coming back, and we remember her from Japan, and she's gonna get the win here because we got to get her rolling to challenge Britt Baker. Maybe not have her lose a relatively quick match to Penelope Ford.
She won that.
Sorry, maybe not have. What I meant was maybe not have Penelope Ford lose a match to this returning person who just came back. Considering we just did a thing with Miro not too long ago.
But Yuka Sakazaki is only here for a month, and if you're going to get her hot to face Britt Baker, she has to beat established talent. And
it could be not Penelope Ford. Isn't there a lot of people? She could maybe beat Nyla Rose.
I think she can do it now. You got to wait, don't we?
Exactly, not before Nyla gets a shot.
Listen, you said she's here for a month, and so she got to beat Penelope. That makes sense to me, but that's because you're booking backwards. Like, she's here for a month, so we got to make this happen for this month. This is not how you book things. This is not how you write things. He stinks. Maybe Sheeta stinks. I'm not sure which at this point. One of them stinks.
So you guys have been very critical of the show, but finally we are at the main event, and I want to hear if you guys are critical of this, because I thought this was insane and lived up to the hype. We have the Coffin match between All Ego, Ethan Page, one of your guys' favorites, and Darby Allin. This one was different from every single Coffin match that I've seen, especially in WWE. The Coffin reads nothing's over till you're underground. But Darby comes out hot. He comes out with Coffin drops directly to Ethan Page, and he reveals that he is wearing a back shield, shades of Bret the Hitman Hart. He's got a little plan in mind, but All Ego had a plan of his own. When Darby Allin goes to the Coffin, it's none other than Scorpio Sky inside of it with black flowers, beating down Darby, hitting him. And of course, this leads to it's Sting coming out, and Sting gets a loud pop. He fights with Scorpio Sky through the crowd, so gets him out of the way. So he goes down to Darby and Ethan Page, and this is when this match just goes all over the building. It goes into the crowd. Darby goes off the top of some scaffolding. All Ego catches him and runs him into the scaffold. They get back into the ring where All Ego has separated the turnbuckle from the ring, and he uses the hook on Darby Allin. Darby reverses it. He puts the hook in All Ego's mouth. Just ridiculous stuff. All Ego almost finishes Darby Allin's not only this match, but possibly his career with an All Ego's edge off the top rope onto the steel steps. He looks to put Darby Allin away, but Darby Allin comes back. He fights back. He hits a skateboard double stomp to the back of All Ego and drops him into the Coffin, shuts it closed, and wins this match. But of course, Darby Allin couldn't just simply win a Coffin match. He had to do something that could possibly kill himself. So after the match, he puts the nail in the coffin, the title of this episode here, with the coffin drop off the top ropes, through the coffin, through Ethan Page. What a finale. What a closing shot to Dynamite. In my opinion, one of the best endings to Dynamite that I've seen. Not as good as, Brody Lee winning the TNT championship, but top 5, top 10 endings to Dynamite, in my opinion. It just had a great feel to it and an awesome reaction from the crowd for this entire match for Darby and this ending. What was your guys' thoughts? Let's start with Cash.
I'm all the way here for All Ego Ethan Page. Also, he's on that list of guys. That was right on cue. They knew it was coming. He's one of those guys that I need to see every week. He just has this American Psycho, like dead eye-ness. What was it? Beady eyes?
Beady eyes.
These beady eyes that he has. He just commands attention when he's in the ring. I enjoyed the match as well. I also like the spot with Darby with the shell, although it reminded me back to his Ricky Starks thing. Because they
like turtles.
Back and I was like, I like turtles. So his little turtle shell, those are nice spots. But this was a fun match. I'm really hoping this is Darby's special signature match. And this is just the way he ends feuds. This is like his Hell in a Cell.
Back in the day, for you youngsters.
Back in the day.
It was only one every few years.
Yeah, there wasn't 4 and 3 nights. But it was a really good match. It was really fun. The ending, I wasn't expecting. I thought we were just done. We just closed the casket, or coffin, sorry. And then he dives through it perfectly, right on cue again.
Perfectly, because that could have went really wrong.
Yeah, he could have hit one of the edges, right? So all that was very beautifully done. Jimmy called the spot with Scorpio in the coffin. So all this was really, Sting wasn't really involved. He came and got the hell out of there real quick. So this hit all the notes of things I wanted to enjoy about it and got rid of all the things I didn't want to enjoy about it relatively quick. The only thing I would have added to it is since Scorpio was in there, so obviously it was a setup from the Men of the Year, maybe just have them do the little bop as they're on the way to the ring, because that dance is just so much fun when they're just bopping to the ring, reaching for the sky.
It was missed.
It was very missed. But nitpicking, but it just very well done.
Jimmy?
When I tell you first of all, this is a really good match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a really good finish to what should have been a longer singles feud, quite frankly. However, when I say what's great about AEW, you all would say like the wrestling, you would name your favorite wrestlers or the promos. You wouldn't say your booking, which is another thing I have a problem with. We got no build up to this match throughout the show, which seems to be a common sense kind of thing. All Ego should be able to talk. He can talk. Cut another fucking promo. Darby get one of those stupid video packages he does. We can build this match up further. You know what else you wouldn't say? Fucking video production. Sting's about to do the Stinger Splash. And we decide to cut to all Ego fucking with the ring. What the fuck are we doing here? You talking about fucking, they redid Miro. How they ruined Sting?
They didn't ruin Sting. Cut it out.
And Matt Hardy's falling far down the card. And Christian's got a terrible fucking debut. Nobody goes fucking with him.
He's earning his way back to the title shot.
I'd say Christian the title shot picture one day. Thank you, JR. Yeah, it's called 4 months ago. It stinks. And but Darby, to end on the positive note, Darby was fucking fantastic. All Ego was fantastic. The Ego's edge on the ring steps, I thought was fucking fantastic.
Right. That was great.
I couldn't see it as a big spot, but it was fun. But I've seen Darby take worse. It's just on his own, quite frankly. Like bumping into who he bumped into? Was that Miro? He ran at full speed and bounced off.
What about when he jumped off of the thing outside of the arena onto Sky and Darby?
Or being thrown down the steps. There's a whole bunch of things done. The Coffin spot at the end, though, that was going because always could have went wrong.
I thought it fit the build too, because the whole build, the original challenge, Ethan Page said that Darby's going to be scared to do the coffin drop, and he didn't do it throughout the whole entire match until the end, until he put him in the coffin. So I felt like that fit the build to this matchup as well.
It was fantastic. And
it was a coffin drop. Like, it was very apropos.
A coffin into a coffin. Coffin inception.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought this was one of the better main events of the year, and it felt like a good blow off to their rivalry. And Ethan Page looked like a star, so I figured you guys would like this. So,
where's the roar? Can we get the roar back?
That was strictly for Bear Country, I think.
Oh man, can you fight Bear Bronson every week? Bear Boulders
every week. So out of 10, what did you guys give this edition of AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1? Let's start with Jimmy.
7. Maybe 6. What's passing? We went to Catholic school where it's 70. And I think regular school is...
I'm going to go with your original thought. 7 out of 10. Cash, what's your rating?
6.25.
What the? Barely feeling?
Yeah, barely. Like they did, like somebody gave him extra credit at some points for a couple things, but it's I didn't particularly love it. So I was disgruntled with a lot of the show. There was just peaks and valleys where I was like, I was just peaks and valleys. I was like, all right, I enjoyed this particular thing. But as a show,
I thought the first hour was brilliant. The second hour was highlighted by the coffin match. So anything that I wasn't too enthused on, like the Christian and Matt Hardy match, or the shortness of Willia Yuta versus Sammy Guevara, I totally missed that part watching it live. So I'm going to go with my original assessment. I gave this a 9.5 out of 10 on Twitter. This was one of the better episodes of Dynamite this year, in my opinion. I loved it. The crowd elevated a lot of this. If it wasn't in Daly's place, it probably wouldn't have been this good, but 10 out of 10 with the Omega and Hangman match, 10 out of 10 with the Coffin match. I thought the opener was good. I thought Ricky Starks and Brian Cage was very good. So I gave this a 9.5 out of 10. One of the better episodes of Dynamite this year, in my opinion.
I'm miffed.
I know you are. It's okay.
What?
This is why you have me on, to be a difference of opinion. Ninja Mortis saying Penelope Ford has gotten better in her time on Dark. He also mentions Layla. I guess he's talking about Layla Hirsch, Red Velvet, Kylan King as talking about the ladies of Dark that should be on Dynamite, like Cash was saying earlier. Yeah, Big Swole, you're right. I haven't seen her in months.
I understand she's got stuff going on, but like she can have a random one-off where she loses, where she's the face challenger to some heel that needs to go over.
It would be a good time to run back Big Swole versus Britt Baker because she did beat her. She did beat her to win that feud.
Run up on her at the office. But wow, Jesus Christ! This so thrown off. This was one of the worst shows for me for the past month.
How does a 6.25 one of the worst shows
of the month?
Oh, I thought you said one of the worst shows
of the month. No, Tony Khan has done way worse.
I was like, the WWE tribute show, we were all in agreement. That was the worst one of the year so far. Yes. I thought that this was one of the best, and I'm not alone. A lot of people also echoed the same thing. They thought it was an awesome show, especially the first hour. The first hour in general, I would say, was one of the better hours of television in all of wrestling. And you know, I watch a lot of
Jesus Christ!
I watch a lot of
hasn't gotten in my absence.
It hasn't gotten that bad.
This hour of fucking Moxley being ridiculous to stop.
Moxley and Anderson, yes, that's what Moxley thinks about your opinion, ladies and gentlemen.
Is this getting an extra 4 points just because they're like, what's happening?
Cash, who was your MVP for the show?
Can we do match of the night thing first? I got to think about this.
Match of the night. Who's
match? It's been good. Enough out of you.
Yes. Match of the night for me is going to be Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. I love this match so much. All of it. Again, not a perfect match. Yes, I know. But pillar to post, I enjoyed everything from guys coming out to guys leaving. I enjoyed every bit of this. And that's what I want. Even if it's not flawless, that's what I want. I want something I enjoy start to finish, to scene to next scene. So match of the night for me.
Jimmy?
Coffin match. It just was the best.
Yeah.
Even with the Stinger Splash?
Even with the missed Stinger Splash. Even with the Jesus.
That's production. That has nothing to do with the performers. So I agree with you. The Coffin match, that was one of my favorite main events for Dynamite of the year. Not as good as Sammy and MJF or Jungle Boy versus Kenny Omega, but just fun in watching it. This had entertained me thoroughly. So MVP Cash now. Who you got?
You want to go first?
Yes, fine. All ego. Once you put the hook in what you call's mouth. MVP. Oh, yeah. I called it me. MVP. That's a fantastic spot. Relatively.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I want to give it to Darby because Darby just feels like Jeff Hardy in 2008. Like just the way he is so popular. This enigmatic guy. I would love to give it to both of them, but I'm gonna give the honors to All Ego Ethan Page on this night. This was a star-making performance, Ryan.
Okay, I need to hear you guys because I'm so torn because I had like a lot of silver medals, but I wasn't sure who I wanted to give the gold to. But yeah, I think I'm gonna agree. I think we're gonna be all agreements, All Ego Ethan Page on this one for the MVP of the show. Like I said, shouts out Brittany Baker, shouts out Ricky Starks, shouts out Shawn Spears even, and Miro especially, but Ray Moxley was great also. But All Ego Ethan Page was just
head and shoulders above the rest. LVP on this one. You want me to start, Jimmy, or you want?
Yeah, feel free because we won't have the same answer.
LVP, I'm gonna go with Willa Yuta. For a guy debuting, he could have looked better. I do agree with Jimmy. This would have been more suited for a heel. If you're gonna put the factory on my TV, you might as well have them job out to Sammy Guevara, one of those guys. That would have worked better for me. I didn't like that they did Willa Yuta like that. Even though he is winning, he's been on AEW, he's been on New Japan, he's been on ROH, he's been on Impact in the last couple of months. So the guy is winning, and WWE gave him a tryout. So the guy is winning in life, but on this night, it wasn't the best showcase of him. Jimmy?
I'll go. Always. You know who my LVP is by default.
Tony Khan?
Shit. Yes.
We're gonna have to start going 2 OVPs.
Yeah, I'll go Tony Khan, and I guess I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was whoever their Kevin Dunn is to miss the Stinger Splash during the main event when Sting is running, and then you cut to a man fucking with the ring, which he's going to do for another 2 minutes, by the way. You stink.
So no wrestlers, I love that.
No, they did not earn my wrath. QT did, what, 12 seconds?
Cash.
See, for me, it is QT because...
Oh, my God.
You
literally, you could have blinked and missed that segment. Seriously.
Which is why it's so gross. You lost a feud, dude. Just go away for a minute, disappear, go maybe teach Aaron Solo something. I don't know. Just go away for a week. You didn't need to mention the golden shovel. You didn't need to bring up the fact that you are buried with the golden shovel, even though you want to pretend that you're not. You were. You're the leader of this stable, and you guys stink. Somehow, with this caveman behind you, but you still suck.
Free Nick Colorado.
Yes, free Nick Caveman, please. Put him with Ryan Mallet. Somebody. He was on.
He's gonna be the head of Star Security.
He was on. I love that actually, but he was on one of the YouTube shows, Ryan something. He kind of looks like Nick Camarado to an extent. Big beefy dude. Put them together. They could be Stark Special Security. Just get them the fuck away from QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. But yeah, just because I don't need to see his face, and he was here and he served zero purpose except pointing out something that doesn't need to be pointed out, like the fact that you're married. Go away, LVP.
That was longer. That was a longer explanation than QT was actually on the screen.
It was.
Just want to make that clear, ladies and gentlemen. For anyone who didn't watch, that was longer than the QT segment.
It was also highlighted by freeing Nick Camarado, though, as well. Please free Mr. Freepiece.
That brings us to a close on this edition of AEWramble, reviewing AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1. Of course, if you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comment section below your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, and what you gave this episode of AEW Dynamite. Cash, please let the people know where they can find you on social media, anything you got going on, or on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel.
Yeah, I don't do my own YouTube anymore because the wrestling's just gross. But I follow me at My Battery Is Dying on the Instagram, at My Battery Is Dying on Twitter because the G didn't fit. Don't add me on Facebook. I'm not going to accept you, but just follow me anywhere else.
Jesus, all right. Fair enough.
Jesus Christ. Join the drunk order. Join the drunk order. Jimmy, where can they find you on social media, your YouTube channel, and anything else you got going on?
At G Macram, and I just want to use my time to besiege Miro to pray to God to release Nick Camarado from QT.
You know, we got to start praying to Miro.
Pray to Miro.
It's the same 50-50 odds.
Miro shall set you free. You can follow me on Twitter at TrueHeelSP3, and me and the fellas will be back next week. AE Recap, AEWramble, whichever one we do. When we do it live, it's AEWramble. When we do it right after the Dynamite the following day, we do AE Recap. We will be reviewing AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 2 next week in Dallas, Texas. Archer versus Moxley, Spears versus Jericho, Orange Cassidy versus The Blade, as well as Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker for the AEW Women's World Championship. And of course, you can tune in later today right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Following Money in the Bank pay-per-view, we're going to go live with WWE Money in the Bank Roundtable Review. The fellas will be on here breaking down all the action, who wins the briefcases, who wins the world title matches. Check us out later tonight, 15 minutes following Money in the Bank pay-per-view, when we go live with our Roundtable Review. And tomorrow, we got a new episode of True Rewind 47, come out and play, as me, Romeo, and Drunk Guy JJ will review the first time Goldust went face-to-face with the Ultimate Warrior. And yes, the Ultimate Warrior was homophobic in 1996 as well. So, Drop your comments down below in the comments section. Let us know what you thought about AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1 for Marcus Cash, for Jimmy Macram. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble, AEWramble number 2, Nail in the Coffin. We are signing off until next time.